Well,
Hello.
hi everybody. We are coming to you here on a Saturday night at 9:30, almost p.m. Eastern. I'm Julie Roginski here with Michelle Kinney and Dana Dubois. We did not plan on coming to you guys live tonight. As you can see, I have I was about to get ready for bed. Hockey game with my family. Nice way to end my birthday today. Michelle and Dana were out doing other things too. And then we found out the news that there was a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. To put in perspective, just to set the scene, for those of you who don't know Washington, the Hilton Hotel, which is where the White House Correspondents' Dinner takes place, is known colloquially as the Hilton, Hinckley Hilton, because that is where John Hinckley shot Ronald Reagan.
I did not know that, Julie.
Yes, back in 1981. It is on Connecticut Avenue, just a little north of DuPont Circle. It is down the street, about, I would say, a mile away from the White House. If you head down Connecticut Avenue, when you hit 1600, 16th block of you will see the White House right there. So it is centrally located in the northwest part of Washington, D.C., and it is the site of the White House Correspondents' Dinner every year, a hotel where a lot of conventions take place throughout the year, and certainly a place that has known how to protect people inside. If people don't remember the shooting of President Reagan, that took place outside on Connecticut Avenue, outside the Hilton Hotel, because to get inside the Hilton Hotel, especially when you have the president, the vice president, the entire, for the most part, I believe most of the cabinet, if not 90% of the cabinet there, along with every high-profile reporter and lobbyist in the nation, it is astonishing that somebody was able to cross that perimeter with a gun.
Yes.
I think first and foremost, let's talk about the fact that we don't know if anybody was shot. It sounds like the shooter has potentially been shot, potentially killed, depending on who you believe. We don't know if anybody else was shot. What is astonishing to me is that, before we get to the details here, that we have such a massive gun problem in this country.
Yes.
That it is not impossible for somebody with a gun to get through Secret Service, the Washington Metro Police Department, and the FBI, and God only knows who else is typically at these kinds of events that we probably don't even know about.
Right.
This comes as there are concerns about heightened terrorism risk from the Iranians, thanks to the war in Iran. Certainly, there are always concerns about people wishing our leaders ill, regardless of who is in power. And it is just astonishing, and also astonishing that the President of the United States at some point, well, just a few minutes ago, put out a statement on Truth Social. I will read it here. Quite an evening in DC. Secret Service and law enforcement did a fantastic job. They acted quickly and bravely. The shooter has been apprehended, and I have recommended that we, in all caps, let the show go on, in caps, but will entirely be guided by law enforcement. They will make a decision shortly. Regardless of that decision, the evening will be much different than planned, and we'll just plain have to do it again. President Donald J. Trump. Ladies?
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want to know what I think?
Yes.
Always. God. I don't want to say something I'm going to regret. So I have found it very strange, especially in recent months. And I mean, Donald Trump's one of those people who can't shut up about anything, and he can't let anything go. And he's constantly talking about things that happened in the past. Yet what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania is never mentioned. The person who did it is never mentioned. I'm not suggesting there was anything nefarious. I'm not saying that it, but I just have always thought that is very strange. And here we are at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's one of the most guarded events in Washington, D.C. every year, outside of maybe, State of the Union or something. It's a room full of very famous people, journalists, including, the cabinet, people with security details, really powerful people. How, in God's name, did somebody with a gun get that close to the mags to begin with? Second of all, there was the tweet that you sent, Julie, that said, "What the hell is this?" And I can't remember who wrote it, but said that Donald Trump never left the building, that he was still backstage after all of this, and was insisting on going back on stage and finishing his speech. And I'm just kind of like,
yeah, no.
I hate this. Again, I don't want to say anything I'm going to regret because I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but it is very, very, very difficult, especially knowing the lengths that he has already gone to try and distract the American public from whatever is happening. And the Epstein files or bombing boats, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I hope to God nobody was hurt. I really do. I mean, my God, to Julie's point, we've had this discussion. I can't tell you how many times this country has a gun problem, and the people who could do something about it are sitting in that room, and they will pretend like this didn't happen and this was some sort of left wing something or other. Like that's what's going to happen. I haven't seen any tweets yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Even though it's a room full of journalists that have been lionized by this president for over a decade, calling them fake news and terrorists and whatever else. So, we don't know who this person is yet, but it's when anything having to do with Donald Trump, I'm just kind of like,
There's a statement now.
I'm 100% with you. Oh, go ahead, Julie.
Statement now from the Secret Service. The U.S. Secret Service, in coordination with the Metropolitan Police Department, is investigating a shooting incident near the main magnetometer screening area at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The President and the First Lady are safe along all protectees. This is their grammar, not mine. One individual is in custody. The condition of those involved is not yet known, and law enforcement is actively assessing the situation. Okay.
The condition of those involved is not yet known. Interesting. Michelle, I have no qualms with stating the obvious of this is a president whose approval ratings are at all-time lows this week, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that an assassination attempt is something that garners a lot of empathy, attention, and lets him play the hero, right? This is not a brave man. And if he is now claiming, oh, the show must go on, I want to get back out there, I don't think there's any chance that he ever was worried he was in danger, in peril.
I mean,
here's...
sorry. No, I was going to say the Washington Post was just reporting a couple months ago that the Russian government had, offered to Viktor Orban in his failing campaign, hey, can we stage an assassination attempt? And I'm not saying that's what this is, but it's just with this president in this administration and the levels at which they go to already.
Yes. The theatrics. This is very good television.
Correct.
Right?
I switched over and I wasn't going to.
Yeah. Well, and here's how I found out about it. I had Substack opened, working on an essay, doing my thing. It's I'm in Seattle, so you can see I'm outside walking my dog right now because the news doesn't wait for anything. Just a late Saturday afternoon, and I saw April Ryan went live from The Contrarian, and I was like, this is an odd time for her to be live. And also, I could see the energy in the live looked very frenetic and unprofessional, and that's not like her. And so I clicked on it, and she was like, I am at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and we're in, what did she call it? They're sheltering in place. And so the way I found out about it and let you know was not an official news source. It was independent journalism reporting from the field. And what she reported was they were at the dinner and that they heard a very loud couple of bangs. And her first thought was, oh, did someone drop plates of food? but they kept going, she said. I kept hearing more.
Yeah.
Yes, more pops. And then there was a sense of pandemonium. And she said, everyone with security detail is gone. And the rest of us are not allowed to leave. We are sheltering in place and we're not allowed to leave. And if he is indeed, sorry, my dog is, come on, Kira, come this way. To me, this speaks, if they want people to stick around, it could be for safety. But if he's going to come back out and speak, maybe he just didn't want the journalists leaving so that they could be there to report on it. But her reaction was, she was composed, but it was raw and she was scared, as well she should be.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not aware of anyone was shot. I'm not aware of anything that happened. Someone in the chat wrote that the shooter was dead in the lobby because it was, I think, being stated on MS Now.
Okay.
And so she read that aloud, but she had no firsthand account of that. I could see behind her it was very chaotic. But there was no reports of like someone is down, someone's been shot. I feel like if she were in the room, she would be aware if someone in the room had been hit. But they also, she and I think it was Norm Eisen who she was next to, but another person at her table, they were saying, how could people have gotten in? And they were like, we were watching the wait staff like just fly in the doors, like 200 people. And they had commented earlier in the night, they said about something about how like, is this secure? There's so many people coming through. And that thought also went through my head in addition to the like, is this just a distraction? Is this theatrics to make him look the hero? I also thought like, this is an administration of not serious people who are not good at their jobs. They are mostly, they are hired because they are, they toe the line. And so how good were they at organizing the logistics for this event, right? That would have me, that gave me pause as well of like, if this was legitimate, if there were any, usually going to something like that, I would be like, nothing is going to happen. This is the most secure place in the world, as you described. But look, I was just right before it happened, I was reading a news report that was showing photos of meals on military boats, like, ships that have been deployed and how there's almost no food on the plates.
Yeah.
Because they don't have they're not feeding the, those in service. Sorry. Yeah. And so I'm like, this is not a competent administration. They don't pay attention to details because the people who are the grownups in the room who are challenging the administration are being worked out or they're leaving. And so is it possible that that also filtered down to the staff and the security detail and just whoever was at the highest level program managing this event? Sure.
Yeah.
We are all relying on having competent people enroll in all aspects of our government. So why would this not be another area that was cut or compromised?
Right. I want to just say this because you can bet that MAGA is going to turn whatever this is into an attack on Democrats and say that
1,000%.
Yeah. So I just want to say this. This president has been attacking the press nonstop for the last 10 years, more than 10 years.
10 plus.
Suddenly he decides to show up at this White House Correspondents' dinner. And suddenly there is a shooter who is breaking through. And there is no guarantee here that apparently this person's been taken into custody. It's unclear whether he's alive or not, but let's assume that he is alive. It is unclear to me whether he was trying to shoot the president or whether he was trying to shoot the reporters in the room at the behest of the president, who refers to them constantly as enemies of the people.
I was just
saying that he will consistently pay for their bail if they're arrested for physically harming them, threatens to knock them out, and so on. So this is somebody who's welcome violence against the media. I say this because we don't know what this is all about, and I don't think anybody should jump to any conclusions. But I do want to be very clear here that the Republicans will jump to conclusions very quickly, as they did with Charlie Kirk's assassination, as they did with Trump's Butler situation, and they will again. And the press will, of course, just go along with it, or either drop.
They'll just regurgitate it as though it is fact. Blah 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 says blah 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 without any sort of context, saying that is just their opinion, or that's not true, or there's no evidence to prove one way or another. And I just, I hate living in a country where I even have to think twice about this. I'm so
100%.
sick of it. I am
Right.
sick of this shit. I am sick of people who work in the media who have been demonized for so many years that it has become a shell of its former self, the mainstream media in general anyways. And you have Barry Weiss tonight had 15 tables.
I know.
15 tables.
Right.
Where she
What
had
if-
Pete Hegseth sitting with her. You know, and like, and outside of this, and I just have to say this, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, in the 3 million Epstein files of the 6 million that exist, that were released to us, the unredacted version that we're not allowed to see, Donald Trump has mentioned it a million
times.
And he has been credibly accused of not just rape, but the sex trafficking of children.
Yes.
And here is this man standing at the podium in Washington, D.C., in front of the entire White House correspondent press pool. And everyone sitting there, clap, 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 having their wine, drinking at their tables, like it's all normal.
Right.
None of this is normal. He started a war for absolutely no reason. He's been bombing fishing boats in the Caribbean. He's been invading countries in South America, kidnapping their leaders, whether they're good or bad, doesn't matter.
Right.
Everything this man does is horrendous. He has cut, but let's talk about, like, even, I'm just saying the tornadoes. They're happening in the Midwest in the last few days. Monday's supposed to be the worst day of it.
Oh.
We don't have the same warning system anymore because Doge went in and cut funding for weather balloons that are used for meteorology and warning systems. And we have F4 and F5 tornadoes hitting communities in this country that voted for him.
Right.
I am so sick of this shit. I am so sick of it. And I'm sick and tired of having, you know, I don't want to watch this. I think this is a clown show. This whole weekend of the White House Correspondents' Dinner is a whole clown show. I hate it. I think it's stupid.
Right.
But here we are having to talk about it.
Let me just say this. Donald Trump is on his way back to the White House, and in 30 minutes, he will be holding a press conference.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Great.
So I just want people to get ready.
Okay. And I'm going to mute my video just because I'm by my house.
Okay.
So I'll be back on it. I'm going to have my audio going,
Okay.
but I'll just be dark for a minute.
Okay. He's going to be holding a press conference in 30 minutes. I just want people to prepare themselves that he, in 30 minutes, will be blaming some combination of Democrats, the media, potentially Iran, and others who he will be blaming without knowing the first thing about who is responsible for this, because the shooter is either dead or wounded or has not yet been questioned by law enforcement if he's alive and well. And there is no reason to hold a press conference except to set the narrative. And I fully expect that the media that was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, to the extent that they will be rushing back to the White House to cover this in their black tie, or other people who are covering it on their behalf tonight, will be regurgitating everything he's saying and allowing him to set that narrative. It is not a coincidence that he will do a press conference immediately so that he can set the narrative right now, quickly, before anybody else does.
listen,
Julie, is the shooter going to be trans, or is the shooter going to be a minority? Can we, or maybe both?
He could be a minority. He could be trans. He could be Iranian. He could be Venezuelan.
Antifa,
a
Democrat, you know,
a Democrat. There's so many different things that the shooter can potentially be. We don't know yet who the shooter is. We don't know what the shooter's motivation is. We don't know anything about this. I think it is fascinating and underscores everything we've been saying. And I know that people thought we were rushing to judgment here, but believe me when I tell you that the reason that this president is holding a press conference in less than half an hour is to set the narrative for what he wants the shooting to be. And when he does, the media will go along covering it.
Yep.
And then by the time we get to the bottom of this, everybody will have moved on, just like they moved on from Charlie Kirk, just like they moved on from Butler. We don't know anything about those shooters because nobody has bothered to follow up.
What's the saying? A lie makes its way around the world before the truth can get its pants on.
Yep.
And Donald Trump understands that. Donald Trump, he lives his life through that motto. That is his. Well, I can't say he has a moral center, but if he did, that would be where it lies. And
CNN apparently, I didn't see this, but I've seen reports of this, apparently went live with this and said how traumatic it must be for Erica Kirk, who of course was there because why would she not be there? How traumatic this must have all been.
Yeah.
The same Erica
All the
Kirk,
tears for Erica. Hold on, I'm going to turn my camera back on because I'm at my desk now.
the same Erica that has told all of us, that we should.
Has told the women of New York that we voted for Zohran Mamdani because I need some sort of replacement for something. Like who comes out to pyrotechnics I can't. These people are so unserious, and I'm so tired of having to listen to their bullshit over and over and over and over and over again. They are liars. They are propagandists. And they don't give a shit about this country. They give a shit about power, proximity to power, and how much money and how much merch they're selling. Erica Kirk.
Yeah.
And, I truly am sorry for people who are in the room who are going to be traumatized by this. Because being
the fact that they want
being in the proximity of events like this. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I am within 1 degree several times of people who have survived mass shootings or have been near them. That's not normal. But that's our normal here in this country. And Donald Trump knows how to make a moment. He is P.T. Barnum. He is a showman. Yes. He's a
such
stupid
a show
one.
doesn't involve circus animals. P.T. Barnum, at least. We can talk about it.
According to the Associated Press, an officer was shot. He was in a bullet-resistant vest at the Correspondents' dinner, but is expected to be okay. There's a Substack party happening at the Renwood Gallery right by the White House downtown in Washington tonight. At the same time, they have been told to shelter in place as well.
Get the hell out of there.
Ooh, you know who's there is Marisa from Grounded Podcast and Jim. We should check in with them and see how they're doing. In fact, I'm going to text her right now while we're talking.
I do want to play this clip. This is Caroline Levitt earlier this evening during an interview.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing
it. Oh my God. I love it. What? There will be shots fired?
And for anybody who didn't catch it, here's just a couple clips from inside. There it is.
Oh my God.
And the band played on. How absolutely dystopian.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Where's it coming from? Crossfire! Look out! Watch out! Move, 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 move. Everybody stay down, stay down.
And I just want to say before we say anything else that, there are people whose lives and careers and jobs is to get up every day and put themselves between a shooter and harm and another human being. And I don't know how they do it. And just even watching those guys run down the stairs is something else. So I just want to
I wanted to say a couple of things. One is there are reports from multiple people who were at the Correspondents' dinner tonight that there was very lax security. Basically, you had to flash a ticket to a pre-event party or to the dinner itself to be let into the premises. So that's one. Two.
That corroborates with from the contrarian was saying.
Yeah. You're coming in and out a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
your connection's a little.
Okay, so that's one. The other is, Dana, maybe you could leave and come back. The other thing here is that the Secret Service, the guys with badges have been paid, but the Secret Service more broadly has not been paid since the government shut down. I know somebody who works for the Secret Service who's not a badge guy, and he has not been paid in months. So that is the real life ramifications of what we're dealing with here with this partial government shutdown. If only the Republicans decided that they were going to care about law enforcement as much as they care about going after innocent people who they want ICE to terrorize. So for anybody who's asking why the Correspondents' dinner in the chat, we don't know.
I don't think my connection's getting better.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Get on your
Am
phone.
I
Maybe?
still cutting in and out? I feel like I am.
Yeah.
I am on my phone.
Oh. Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to turn this for a second. Am I getting any clearer or is it still bad?
We can hear you well.
I'm gonna
Yeah, better. The White House Correspondents' dinner, there's one of several reasons why the White House Correspondents' dinner, but the answer is we don't know. The other person who does not know is Donald Trump. Nevertheless, he will be holding a press conference in the next several minutes to give his version of events. And I think that's the part that should upset all of us, because the truth of the matter is that he is setting a narrative about this that he has no idea about. Michelle, I think what is upsetting about this, in addition to the fact that obviously there was a shooting, is the fact that we have so little faith in our leaders and so little faith in each other that our mind immediately goes to the fact that, what was this all about?
Yeah. What's the real story here?
What's the real story here?
Will we ever know?
From people who are not conspiracy theorists, right? The people,
Right.
This is not
Like
who
my
we,
worst fear is being called one, honestly.
this is not who we are.
Right.
And yet, the fact that there was such little security, the fact that the president wanted to go on with the show,
Yes.
the fact that he's going back to the White House and having a press conference, the fact that he had not shown up to any of these
Mm-hmm.
events until this year. It's I think there are legitimate questions to ask as to what the hell is going on. And it's problematic, I think, for a number of reasons, and disappointing for a number of reasons. I don't know, one of the people who was going live on CNN was Wolf Blitzer, who watched this all go down. He thought for a moment that the shooter was actually trying to kill him because he was so close to the shooter.
Oh, God.
And, we forget, but I mean, this is Wolf Blitzer, who, I remember well from the 91 war, was in, was in Iraq, excuse me, has been in war zones. And yet these are people who are going to what they think is a nice dinner. God knows why they were there, but I guess they decided to show up in the first place. It's a different story as to why anybody would show up to this year, but only to have to deal with this. And I think that's something that is an epidemic in this country that other countries just do not experience. They just don't.
No.
They just, the complete lack of unity that we now have in this country, thanks to this president, thanks to our media, a lot of times. And I'm not talking about the fact that we're talking about this, but I mean, going back to the Fox News days of just, constant divide and conquer. The fact that we have a gun epidemic in this country where nobody even blinks, that somebody could walk into an event like this with a gun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The fact that my 13-year-old, when I said, how can somebody possibly go get in with a gun into this event, goes, oh, like a 3D gun. Those are easy to print.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's
He's
13.
not wrong.
He's 13.
I remember when the Charlie Kirk murder happened.
Yeah.
The family chat. Can you hear me okay? Am I still?
Yeah.
Okay. My kids and their dad and I are on a family chat, and my teenager texted the link to him being shot.
Oh God, no.
And I was like, are you sure that this is real? And she was like, there are two angles, watch them both. And I watched them and I'm like, you're right, there's no way he survived that. But yeah, everyone in her school had it in like seconds before I even knew about it. For a moment of levity, can I read one comment from the chat? I'm sorry, this isn't that funny, but I feel like we need a moment of levity. Sammy D asks, Dana, are there any reports about the shots waking up the president?
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I just needed to laugh. It would appear so.
mean, I wasn't watching, but I was fully expecting there to be clips on Aaron Rupar's feed about him falling asleep tonight at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
he's
C-SPAN
probably
on.
awake because he loves this. Sorry.
Well, right. Yeah, he's like, oh, it's my moment. And listen, I'm sure there's part of him that's like, well, they won't be talking about the night that Obama embarrassed me anymore. They're going to be talking about the night that I survived the White House Correspondents dinner, and someone tried to come get me, and I'm a hero. Like, I mean, that will be what it is now.
Absolutely. There's also in the chat here, it says that April, Ryan, and that Waj, the left hook, Waj and Lev and Jim Acosta are all there. And I think by there they mean at the Correspondents dinner, not the Substack dinner. So I can't, I wonder if they're live as well. I can go take a peek. I did put in the chat, and I also sent it to you too, the April Ryan's live stream from when it first happened is now live, or the recap of it is live.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And it's not very long. It's like 9 minutes, I think. So if you guys want to watch it, that's April inside the Substack event. No, she's at the Correspondents dinner, unless they're in the same building. She was definitely in the Correspondents dinner.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be in the same building. Waj was going to the Substack one. Okay.
Yeah.
Along with Jim and Alex.
Yeah,
okay. They're at the Substack one.
A lot of people are at the Substack party. Yeah. Excuse me.
That's all confirming that.
Yeah. I've got C-SPAN on my other laptop here, and I'm waiting for some news here to see. Again, do you guys want to stay on until he talks, or what do you want to do? Do you?
Is it like 15 more minutes? What time?
I don't know. That's the thing. When you said that it was going to be 30 minutes, Julie, how long ago was that? I don't know.
When she's going to come out.
Yeah.
But
and have some sort of dramatic entrance or something. Yeah.
Probably with his fist pumping in the air. Hero. Yeah, I never watch him talk, but I would tonight on this live if you want to stick around. My big plan tonight was to pull my hair up in pigtails and make some tea and try to finish an essay. When it's quiet in the house, my kids just left. So I am happy to be on here with all of you. I mean, I'm not happy. I'm like, please, can we not have shootings like this? But or fake ones. Either way, they're bad. We will never know. The chat is blowing up with people. I think Zev was planning on showing the president. Oh, okay. So I think Zev Shalev is live and is planning on showing it. And Tara Palmer is talking to Avi Baker, who is at the Correspondents dinner. Jim is on live now. Robin says they're making t-shirts and hats now, probably.
Oh, no doubt in my mind.
Commemorative coin, maybe.
Never let an opportunity go to waste for these people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is a man who was a living president in office, is going to put his face on money.
Yeah.
He
Despicable.
sells, you know, plastic sneakers and watches and things that fall apart to his.
So people are asking where folks
people.
are. Jim Acosta is at the Substack party. So there are two
Okay.
different parties. I just want to be clear here. There, and for people who don't know Washington, let me give you the geography very quickly.
Mhm.
The White House and this is relevant to where everything is.
Yep.
The White House Correspondents' Dinner is in Northwest Washington, D.C., up Connecticut Avenue, slightly north of DuPont Circle. If you go down from DuPont Circle in the opposite direction, you will hit the White House. Right next to the White House, not far from the White House, is the Renwick Gallery. That is where the Substack party is happening. They're about a mile apart from each other. Both apparently people have been told to shelter in place in both. The White House Correspondents' Dinner for people who joined us late, is at the Washington Hilton. It is known colloquially, as I said earlier, as the Hinckley Hilton. It is where President Reagan got shot in 1981 outside as he was leaving an event at the Washington Hilton. John Hinckley shot Ronald Reagan, his press secretary, and I believe one of his Secret Service people at the White House. Outside the same hotel where this shooting took place tonight.
Mhm.
The Substack party is closer to the White House. The president is now headed back to the White House if he's not there already. Barry Weiss, for anybody who's asking, she was at the Hilton where the shooting took place.
15 tables. She had 15 tables.
But the president is headed back to the White House, down Connecticut Avenue. It is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue because it is a 16th in Pennsylvania, the 1600 block of Pennsylvania Avenue. Connecticut goes down, 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 and then you will eventually see the White House if you go down Connecticut Avenue. So it is a straight shot down Connecticut Avenue. I suspect they probably shut Connecticut Avenue down
Oh, yeah, for sure.
when the president was headed through DuPont Circle and down. So that is where everything is. The area around the Hilton, it's between DuPont Circle and an area, a very fancy area of town called Colorama. That is where a lot of embassies are. A tremendous amount of embassies and diplomats are there as well. And it is a very nice part of town, as is where the White House is, which is much more where kind of K Street lobbyists are a little bit further closer to where the White House is. So this dinner tonight, there were two dinners tonight. One was the Substack party, where a lot of our friends are. A lot of people chose to go to that instead of going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. There is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which, quite frankly, I don't know why anybody would choose to go to with this administration, but nevertheless, a lot of people did, and that's where that shooting took place. So we will know more.
Yes, thank you for the geography lesson, because I haven't been to DC since I was like 10 years old, I think. So
Okay.
it's not familiar to me at all.
Having worked there, there's no advantage to it except for this moment in time where I can give you the history lesson, the geography lesson. Otherwise, it's really
right. And I will say the thing that just keeps coming to mind is the same thing I thought of when Charlie Kirk was first shot, which was like, wouldn't it be wonderful if the output of this is sensible gun regulation? If all the journalists who were in that room, all of the leaders who were in that room were like, enough, we don't ever want to feel that moment of fear, and there's a broader empathy. Like, I remember Lawrence and I saying on the Daily Whatever show right after Charlie Kirk was killed, that we were like, there should be a Charlie Kirk memorial bill around sensible gun safety in the world I want to be living in.
Mhm.
That's what the output of this is, and we're all bracing that it's going to be the opposite. Somehow it's going to get convoluted, and this will be our
of course. It won't even be part of the conversation, and this is a really upsetting thing to say. So I apologize in advance to anyone who might be upset by talking about violence against children. But in 2012, when it became, I guess, acceptable to walk into a first grade class and slaughter 20 children, beyond the point of recognition, beyond the point of recognition,
Yeah.
this country decided that that was okay. And
Yeah.
from that moment on, there is nothing that will ever change the mind of this country and the people in power and the very powerful gun lobby. Never.
Yeah.
I can't even still hearing about Sandy
I
Hook.
know.
My kids were about that age when it happened, and give or take, and
I know. It's I can't believe we live like this. And every time I go to Canada or I'm at when my husband and I were in Montreal a couple years ago, even we were in this big cathedral, and I was walking around and I noticed that especially living in New York, anytime I'm in a crowded place, if I'm in the movie theater, especially in the movie theater, I get anxiety, especially on opening weekends. If I'm in a cathedral, if I'm anywhere like that, I'm always very keenly aware of the exits. Whenever I go to see Broadway shows, I sit on the aisle. I will not sit in the middle, so that if something were to happen, I can get out quickly. And I noticed when I was in Canada last, I never felt that way.
No.
I never even looked. Same when I was in Paris. I didn't even look. And, it's just part of life. It's like being a woman living in the world and just knowing you have to carry your keys in your hand. That's just part of being an American now. It's just another layer of anxiety and fear of these things happening. And I said it before, I'll say it again, to the people who were in that room who will be traumatized by this event. I am deeply sorry. I am deeply sorry to them. I really am. No one should have to.
And the one thing we know will not be in Trump's speech when he goes live is any hint of empathy for any of the people. There will be no, we collectively just endured something, at least former leaders, even though they didn't do shit to get legislation passed, there was a humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think what we can anticipate Trump saying is that he wanted to stay at this event and continue, but the Secret Service precluded him from doing that.
And the people who want to silence me and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and people want to silence me, and we are,
the people in that room, the journalists have made me out to be, and they tell lies about me.
That's why this happens.
That's why this happens. Let's forget about the fact that I posted an AI image of myself last week as Jesus and then deleted it and tried to tell an entire White House press pool that no, that wasn't Jesus. I was a doctor. I was pretending to be a member of the Red Cross, who we support. And then just days before that, said in a post publicly that he wanted to annihilate, kill an entire civilization of people. He wanted to carry out a genocide against the Iranian people. Yeah. And he's not kidding. Yeah. And for any of these Republicans who say, oh, well, he's not serious. You can't take us serious. What?
He's the president.
He's the president of the States.
President of the United States.
He moves markets with every comma in every sentence that he says. And I think we kind of forget, because he's been around for so long, that is the case. But the reality is, when he says he wants to commit genocide, people take that seriously.
Yeah, you have to.
He wants to annihilate an entire civilization. When he has the nuclear weapons at his disposal to do that, there was a part of me, and I am not prone to hysteria, that actually wondered whether he was going to drop a nuclear weapon on the Iranians.
Yeah, we all thought that. I mean, you have to take a threat like that seriously coming from the president.
That says a lot about the mental health that we think our president has. And for people around the world who are watching us right now, I know there are some here from Australia and Britain and other places. You are right to wonder what the hell is going on. I want to stress again that the president of the United States is going to be pacified on Monday, as we wait for him to come on. We can just talk about this a little bit, by the King of England. That Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the British Prime Minister, is sending in a constitutional monarch who has very little power other than,
just to make Donald Trump feel special, like he's a monarch too.
Just to make Donald Trump feel special, so that Donald Trump does not suddenly throw a bone to his, well, let me back up. There was a memo that was written by Pete Hegseth's number 3, a guy named Elbridge Colby. Elbridge Colby is the grandson of William Colby, the former head of the CIA. Elbridge Colby is the number 3 guy, as I said, at the Pentagon. He wrote a memo, an email, that floated options for punishing NATO allies that he deemed sufficiently supportive of our little Iranian misadventure. And among these proposals were suspending Spain from NATO. I want to just stress the United States has no,
do that. That doesn't
Right.
to suspend anybody from NATO. In fact, there's no mechanism in the NATO alliance to suspend anybody from it. And one of the weird things that he suggested was basically pulling support, diplomatic support for Britain's claim to the Falkland Islands. If you remember the Falklands War back in the 1980s, the Falklands owned are considered British territory. They are islands in the middle of the South Atlantic. It's about 300 miles east of Argentina. The Argentinians call them Los Malvinas. They think that they own them. This is something that nobody has ever thought about since 1984, at least here in the United States. But nevertheless, or 86, I forgot when the Falkland Islands were. People in Britain or Argentina watching can correct me as to what year that was, but it was sometime in the early to mid 80s. And all of a sudden now, to get back at the United Kingdom, to get back at Britain, they want to basically say that the United States is going to pull support from the British ownership of the Falklands by reframing them as a imperial possession. I say all of this to say that this is how absurd things have gotten. Like, who gives a shit if the United States thinks the Falklands belong to Britain or not? They do belong to Britain, whether you like it or not, unless the Argentinians want to invade the Falklands again and we send a carrier group to help them, which, what the hell with this president, who knows? It doesn't really matter what we think. But that's how bad things have gotten here. And that's how bad our relationship with the British have gotten. So bad that it's probably the worst it's been since the Suez Crisis in 1956. I say all of this to say that this is, under these circumstances, here comes the King of England on Monday coming in. Why is he coming in? You know, it makes a certain kind of sense. Trump doesn't respect institutions, but he reveres status theater, right?
Yeah. So if they're like, it's fine, we'll totally do this just to placate him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Aristotle. You know, he doesn't. He's very deeply susceptible to pageantry. Not into democracy, but he's into aristocratic glamour.
It's everything that he's not.
Yeah. He's
a cheesy guy from Queens and a slumlord. And all he ever wanted to be was accepted by the elite in Manhattan, and he never will be. And all he's ever wanted to be is have proximity to people who matter, who were born into things. And he wasn't born into anything.
And so I say this because all of this is happening in the midst of a war that we have begun for reasons that are still unclear. They still haven't told us exactly what the end goal here is or what we're doing there. Is it regime change? Is it to end their nuclear program? Is it to reopen the Straits of Hormuz, which we're not closed?
The nuclear program that we obliterated, but then didn't obliterate. And then, by the way, we obliterated it again.
Is it regime change? Like, I don't like why are we there? Unclear. But in the midst of this, I mean, really, we invaded to take attention away from the Epstein files, and now I think we're, in the midst of this, you've got the shooting going on. The King of England is coming here on Monday. You've got Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, who were going to be in Pakistan, that they stopped being in Pakistan, they were going to be in Pakistan, that they're not in Pakistan to negotiate. Now Trump is saying the Iranians, want to negotiate. They have my number. Like,
Yeah. And this too, there was one point at which he said, now that the Iran situation's managed, the next biggest enemy are the Democrats who are enemies of the state. Do you remember that? Like there was a Truth Social post about this, like just sort of tossed off of like, now we're going after our internal enemies. Mm-hmm. I remember reading that and being like, okay, so now he's coming after us, but then squirrel, the war wasn't actually over, surprise, surprise. But yeah, that his next focus was like, I'm going after all the liberal Democrats. Mm-hmm.
Which, and by the way, in the background of all of this, Tom Homan's been going on TV talking about how, and he said, and I quote, we will be going after non-criminals, which we know that they're doing anyways. Tom Homan from my hometown of Watertown, New York, absolute trash person, mush mouth, piece of corn going to fly out of his mouth at any moment. He is such a trash person.
You guys hear really loud crackling, or is that just me?
It's you.
Yeah, I don't know what's.
You're coming in and out. Now you're back. You're good.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any? Okay, and Maritza, whose last name I cannot pronounce, from Grounded Podcast, is at the Substack event, and I asked if she's interested in joining, and she said sure, if we want to bring someone in who is in the field. Do you want me to get her email address so we can add her?
Yeah, I have it. But just as an FYI, the cameras, C-SPAN's cameras are inside the Brady press briefing room, and it looks like they're setting up for this to happen. They're now showing a Mike Johnson tweet. Kelly and I were at the event tonight, and we're thankful no innocent people were harmed and everyone is safe. Blah blah blah.
Great.
I'm so glad that none of the Keebler elves. Anyways, I just
sent you her email.
Yeah, Julie, that's all you.
Well, I can just if you want, she's okay, hang on one sec.
Is that complicating things too much? If it's too complicated, we don't have to, but
no. So you just send her the
StreamYard part of this is easy. I just don't, to add on StreamYard, I don't know if, or Substack, I don't know if you want to do that or not, or if you just want to have her hop on just a regular.
We should just have her hop on
okay.
StreamYard. I can try
to. Oh, do you want me to send? I can send you the link. I'll send her the link.
Yeah. Good idea.
That's easy. Okay, here we go.
Okay, great. Oh, now C-SPAN is taking calls with the former communications, somebody from the Trump administration. I'm sure this will be nice and unbiased.
Right.
Responses. I love it. It's great. This man has been a part of our lives in a way that none of us ever wanted. And we beg for him not to be. I can't wait till the day that I don't have to think about him when I wake up in the morning. I don't want to hear his name. And
voice
someday. And here's the other piece of the reality. I mean, outside of the fact that he's a war criminal and that he's a child sex trafficker, or the fact that he is incompetent, a tyrant, and a racist. He's also a malignant narcissist who has dementia. And he is sundowning, y'all. This is the other part of this. He is mentally unstable.
Yeah, like this press conference should be
average. This could be crazy.
This is very late at night, way past his bedtime.
And he's not doing it from the Oval Office. That's the thing. He's doing it from the press briefing room, which I think is interesting. What do you make of that, Julie?
I think that probably he wants press to ask him questions, because if he was doing it from the Oval Office, they wouldn't be able to.
Right.
And obviously the podium is set up and so on. But I think it's also fascinating that he is fascinating is not the word. It is smart of him to set the narrative of whatever he wants it to be. And we will know very quickly what it is, right? I think we all can predict what it is. But I think we will all be able to see very quickly what it is, which is that the President of the United States is going to blame everybody for what has happened, who he wants to blame, despite
radical leftist.
having one iota of information to base any of that on. I just want people to understand whatever he says, he does not know. He does not know. Unless you're a total conspiracy theorist, in which case he does know. But if you believe that he does not know, then he does not know.
And to which I'll remind people, in the minutes, not hours, in the minutes following the execution of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, they were out in front with lies about who they were, what they were doing, why they were there, why they were murdered, executed in broad daylight. And again, a lie makes its way around the world before the truth can get its pants on. And that is what they do, especially when something goes wrong. And, you know, Renee Good, oh, she's a terrorist. She's this, she's and she's a terrorist lesbian. Oh, no, she's a lesbian too. I mean, this is what these people do. And this will be no different. This will be no different.
Yeah.
It will be no different.
It's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. And, you know, there's two of you. Well, there's one box, but.
Oh,
I'm going to.
gosh, that's weird. What is going on with me and my connection? Let me turn this again.
You're good. You were good before.
I'm not here, am I?
You are.
Yeah.
We see you.
I don't think I'm still here.
You are. I promise.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, now I can't hear you. I'm going to drop again. This is fun. Thank you, StreamYard. I'll drop. Oops.
Sometimes I have to say I pay for the highest speed of internet, and I am within feet of my internet tower, and yet still sometimes on this thing it's like people are like, oh, it looks like Michelle's in a Vaseline container, you know, and it's okay. I'm looking at the press briefing room here. We've got Caitlin Collins up front. The funny thing about this is like everybody's in formal wear. In suits and tuxedos and ball gowns, reporting from the press briefing room.
Well, could we throw that on screen maybe while we're talking and just put it on mute until he comes out?
Yep. Just don't make fun of my watch history with Miss Congeniality on here. Hold on.
Evening dress for CNN. You can see her up at the front doing her stand-up.
Marissa's here, so let's
another bow tie up there in the front.
Yep. I'm going to turn the sound down here.
Hey, Maritza.
Hey guys, sorry, let me switch my thing. This is just trying to find a spot that's a little bit quiet. It's just very weird here. I'm at the party.
Are you guys still sheltering in place, or are they allowing you to leave now?
You know what? I haven't checked, and that's what I heard. But I think people are leaving. I just was with some people. They said their bus is here. It's just like a surreal, weird night, right? Like it's just strange. I mean, I'm sitting here with all the people we talked to. Scott McFarland is right here next to me. Aaron Parnas is here. Jim Acosta's here, and we're all getting this information in real time at the same time. And so many people here. Like literally a common thread is, oh my gosh, I found out from my mom. My mom called or my mom sent me a text to say, are you okay? That's how I found out. And it's just like, it's just a surreal thing because we're all just wondering what's going on. And we're just getting like threads and strings of information. I've heard so many stories and I haven't even had the bandwidth to take a look and say, okay, what is actually happening?
Did they tell you? Did anybody come in to tell you to shelter in place, or how did you learn that you couldn't leave?
No, they had an announcement, and they just said we're aware of a shooting at the White House. The streets are locked down outside because we're right. Like the party we're at is at the Renwick Gallery, which is literally right next to the White House.
They said there's a shooting at the White House or the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
No. But it was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but
Right.
where we are in proximity, we're across the street from the White House, and so all of the streets were locked down. So I don't know if I haven't been clear, and I was kind of just talking to people throughout that, but it wasn't clear to me if the actual venue was locked down or if the streets around us were locked down. But they said, you can't really go anywhere, so you might as well stay here. People are starting to filter out though, like it's the crowd here is thinned out for sure. And then we're getting, I'm just getting like bombarded with text messages. Are you okay? Where are you? And my friends sending me reports on what's going on. But it's just, it's a surreal night.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm glad you are safe. I imagine that's a good crew to be stuck with if you have to be stuck with folks. Well, I'd way rather be there than at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
For all the reasons. Yeah.
Well,
I did see
that's
CNN is now saying
Yeah.
that the dinner will be rescheduled in 30 days. That's
Yeah.
new to me. Just refreshing CNN. So
reschedule. Wow.
That's what it
I mean,
says.
that's the thing, Dana, is I have heard everything from like initially I heard, okay, they rushed the president off stage and out the building and all of the cabinet officials. And then we heard, no, he's still in the building. He wants to continue. I've heard that there's somebody dead. I've heard that, so I just don't know. Like, I haven't seen any concrete, clarifying of the information. And it's just like, we're in this really weird space where, we're we're dressed up. We're at a party celebrating journalism, and this room full of journalists trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's just chaotic.
Oh my
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
all of the, I was talking about it with some people here at this party, like there was so much strange, frenetic energy coming into this event anyway, with the president, going to the event, being so abusive to journalists and really trying to break down the norms of the free press. And so there was so much discussion about people even being at these events, people even like going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and the varying degrees of opinions on that, not to mention the parties in general. There was just a lot, I don't know, there was just this energy around this event anyway. And I was I said to multiple people, both last night and today, I said, I just have a bad feeling. Like, I was thinking there would be like some kind of fight or protest or something happening at the dinner. I did not think it would be this, but I did feel like this was just bad energy coming into this whole weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you when you started talking about the energy going into the event, like, were you anxious? Were people just kind of excited or just apprehensive? But like bad energy and bad juju, like that's, oof, and
I think, are you muted? Can you guys hear her? I can't hear her.
Oh, this happens with StreamYard sometimes as people come and go. It's so
Never
annoying. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I can't hear you guys. I can see you, but I can't hear you. I can see your mouth moving.
No.
Oh, no.
I wish I could hear you.
You need to hang up and come back.
I'll try to leave and come back.
Yes. There is someone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on my laptop now. The connection seems more stable. The crackling has gone away. The camera angle is not. It's a little awkward with the laptop, but I'm seeing a name in the chat, but I don't know if this is reliable, of a primary threat actor.
What?
Yeah. V for
This is on the Substack chat.
This is just in the Substack chat. It says primary threat actor Cole Tomas Allen, 31, of Torrance, California. Status apprehended, federal custody, weaponry, long barrel firearm assembled on site. But I'm scanning. I'm saying it like not verified.
Yeah.
And then someone else is saying supposedly there's a 30-year-old man from California in custody. So
Yes. Cole Thomas Allen, 31, from California, has been identified as the suspect in tonight's shooting at the White House.
There you go.
Dinner. with the FBI confirming that Allen is currently in custody and was carrying a shotgun as well as a handgun when he entered the Washington Hilton.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
There goes your security, right? Yes, and V for Violet is clarifying that it's Wahij Lion, Malcolm Nance's intelligence friend, who was reporting it.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
thank you
I
for the
trust
source
that.
there.
Yeah. I trust that information. Anything in Malcolm Nance's world.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm
laughing too
yeah.
because we've got some astrology things coming in that really make me wish
I
Lauren's
saw that. I
political.
saw Uranus
It's-
and I was like,
Yes,
oh, God.
this is precisely the time Uranus entered Gemini. I will say because Lawrence and my friend Karen Marie Shelton and Oceana and I talk about, I'm not the expert, I just listen to them, and they have been saying something like this kind of energy is in the air.
Well, you know what's kind of embarrassing?
What's that?
We were talking about astrology this morning on Saturdays for Sanity, and like I don't believe in God. I am like atheisty, and
Same.
I'm not really into woo-woo stuff at all. But sometimes, maybe just because I'm so desperate for anything, I will go on TikTok or TikTok or Instagram and search United States of America astrology chart predictions.
Oh my
See
gosh.
if there's like, a psychic or astrology things like doing the chart for the United States and trying that. I'm like,
yeah, I have a
maybe-
recommendation for you on
Really?
Substack, Gray Galaxy. First of all,
Okay.
she's a complete delight and she's a great writer, but this is her niche, astrology meets
really?
politics. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
yeah, I'll
she
have to
does
follow her.
really interesting readings. We had her on the Daily Whatever show once. We'll have her back at some point. She's just, her schedule
I'll
is
have
very
to
busy.
follow. I don't take
but
it like terribly seriously, but I do go to it for any amount of hope.
Comfort?
Comfort, whatever it is. Sometimes I'm like, there has to be some sort of cosmic reason.
There
Suck so bad.
does.
Like, you know what I mean?
It looks like Julie is in deep research mode.
I am.
Julie used to do Oppo, and she's very, very good at it. Very good. Oppo research, yeah.
So is Trump anywhere to be found? Or
The camera is right
know.
on the podium. Everybody looks really, what's his name? Ducey is seated. Everybody seems to be seated. It looks like, let me just throw this up here. Hold on.
Okay,
Again.
perfect. Because I'm just refreshing the CNN what we know area,
Just
and
don't
I'm not
make fun of
seeing
my,
anything new.
Yeah, just don't make fun of my watched. I got Miss Congeniality up here.
Okay. Confession, mine would be almost all ASMR videos because that's what I listen to for my inner peace.
Listen, we all got to
Yeah.
do what we got to do with our nervous systems.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it looks like this could be starting at any moment.
Okay. I'm going to go grab a fizzy water because I feel like I need some
Yeah, please.
hydration to get through this.
there
Yeah.
comes Caroline
Oh,
Levitt?
oh, here she
No,
comes.
it's-
Okay,
it's-
I'll be right back.
It's the White
No,
House
that's-
photographer.
White House photographer.
Yeah. Which means she's getting into place to photograph him walking in the door, probably.
All right, let's get lit. I've got some Trader Joe's lime sparkling water for this party. I feel like in another reality, we would be doing the shots we were talking about this morning in the cave.
Oh yeah, the shots of Patron with Jim Acosta. Those were the days. Them were the days. All right, still looking here.
We're invested now, though. We got
It looks like that's Garrett Hake in the front with which one is that? Who's the little Doocy? Here we go. I'm gonna turn the sound on.
Oh God, let's get through this together.
All right, why is it now doing that?
Are we going to Mystery Science 3000 this? Mystery Science Theater 3000 this and talk, or we're going to wait till he's done?
Just unified. I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now, put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's great shape. He has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
Come on.
They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the DC police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people. And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady that was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay, but it was protocol.
There it is.
They said, please, sir, because they
Please,
didn't
sir.
know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Thank you, General.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
President.
God. Thank God Cash is here.
The president's
Wow.
absolutely right. You
So
saw
we
the
didn't have
best
too much to
resolve of
drink at the
American law
event.
enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them
Stop.
the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty because we have leadership here with the president and the vice president that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started. And we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Okay, we'll do a couple and then we go to the chief. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats. In that moment, when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that
Oh
moment?
my God, what a softball, Jesus.
Actually, it was.
I can't.
It was shocking.
I can't.
Like this happened to me a little bit.
I have a question.
That never
Can I
changed.
get called on?
The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, "That's a bad noise," and we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said what. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time we're going to event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I
Better
ask
question.
respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know,
Because I'm a saint. I'm a martyr.
Ugh.
And I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, you go through the people.
Oh my God. Oh
He's
my
not
God.
comparing himself to
Where they got
Lincoln.
Oh my God.
But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after.
Everyone
the
is jealous of me
They like it
because
that
I'm
way.
Jesus. I'm reading
And
the
when you
comments.
look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt,
Lincoln.
very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're
Oh,
the
here we go.
Yeah. No
country.
shit.
Now everybody just hates our
There
fucking
are a lot of people that are not happy
Much
about
better.
that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No,
indoor?
well, but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. He charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what do you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving, and the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn. Literally, by the time he was there, they were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be. I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
President Trump, thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? Do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of
Can you just
defense.
give away the fact that they had undercover?
They acted
everywhere?
incredibly.
Yes, he did.
We've had no.
I heard it. I heard it
no
loud and clear.
notification. We had no idea. Go
Do you
ahead,
know
Kevin.
any political motivations from this?
Well, you never
assessment?
know. No, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. You know, he's in custody and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. You know, they had him down. He was fighting hard. He was, in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detailees take minutes to be escorted out the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think. I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, you know, it's my life. And I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's a lot. There's you as well as some of us who have covered Butler experience
2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening?
Well, I can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job, in my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. And if he didn't do it now, you know, he's David. His name was David. I say, hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Oh my God. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired. And if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed. We lost one great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so in a sense, you know, that was pretty amazing, the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot. As you know, they should have had that covered. Tonight, they had everything covered very quickly. And he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight. But I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor? And has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just it's not my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people. And they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt, as you know, and he's spending life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, you know, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know, I think very shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you
Go ahead,
concerned
make it
about political violence? This could be
All
politically motivated.
violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%, but if you take presidents, it's 5.8%, and about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah, well,
what does that say about our country?
Yeah, we're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all
Was it
over the
Putin?
world. You look at South America. It's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
At this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year.
Why is he talking about
and I
the
called
stock
everybody
market?
together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I seek to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. We did it in 1 year. And I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%. So, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump.
Thank God.
Trump. Did you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life.
What kind of question is
I think I
that?
handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, you are in a dangerous job, but that goes along with her too. I mean, it's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight, we heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's go.
Can we hear from her about? Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Jesus.
Right.
Millions of people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble.
Like
I would
yours?
say, Pete, right? You know, they can make trouble.
Right.
Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So
Not
you
you.
do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, you know, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing. And we really do. But
Matt Dillon?
It comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, stop talking to him and let him
See you
leave.
tomorrow. Thank
I can't take it anymore.
Thank you.
Oh my God, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
I just
my
got so
God.
much stupider from listening to that. My brain
and
is
that was-
melting.
Wait, but can we talk about Matt Dillon?
Okay, before we get to Matt Dillon,
There's something about Mary.
before we get to Matt Dillon,
Oh,
yeah,
God,
continuing
sorry.
about Mary, who I think that was probably the last time anybody thought about Matt Dillon. Except for Donald Trump, who apparently thought about Matt Dillon's.
Yeah, I think singles, because I live in Seattle,
He
so I
wasn't,
picture
he
him.
wasn't singles, but that was before something.
It was before, but that to me
Yeah,
is his iconic "Touch Me, I'm
Yes.
Dick" role.
Except
Yeah.
for Bridget, except for
Sorry, I
Bridget
know this is serious, but like Jesus Christ, Matt
except for
Dillon.
Bridget Fonda and singles and Donald
Yeah.
Trump. Nobody's really thought about Matt Dillon's looks in a long time. I want to just talk about this.
Please.
in
You
addition-
are very serious throughout this whole thing.
Well, I'm serious because I am seriously disgusted with our White House press corps.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I know that everybody's applauding the chairwoman of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Chang from CBS. But the reality is that was the biggest bullshit question I've ever seen. Like, Mr. President, what was going through your mind?
Right.
Like, really? And then, of course, we don't have to belabor Peter Ducey, who was asking the usual Fox News bullshit, sycophantic questions, and everybody else too. So that's your White House press corps, folks. That is who was at this dinner tonight.
That was
They're-
horrendous.
They were all in their tuxes. That is who covers the White House every day. And if you wonder why our country is in the sorry state that it's in, and why independent media is so necessary, you just got your answer. It is absolutely absurd at all the questions that were being asked tonight when this very serious event happened after the president made a pitch for the White House ballroom.
Yep.
That was the purpose here.
Yep.
He had just made a pitch for the White House ballroom. Now, let me stress something. This was not an official White House event.
Yeah.
This was put on by the White House Correspondents Association, which means that they rented out the Washington Hilton, and that they sold tickets for a lot of money, which is how they fund their, basically their operation, by selling tickets to media outlets. Therefore, when the White House ballroom is built, it will not be used for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Not one person, not one, at that dinner at that press conference, raised their question and said, Mr. President, you just talked about the White House ballroom. Please, sir, explain to us how this White House ballroom will be used to host a private dinner in support of a private organization where media outlets pay money not to the taxpayer-funded ballroom, but to the White House Correspondents Association. Please, sir, explain. Are you confused? And what are you talking about? Tell us.
You know, when you work with dementia patients, you don't steer them back to reality because it's considered cruel. You just sort of say, like when my dad starts telling me about the time he served in World War II, he was born in 1944 and never served in the military. I just say, wow, Dad, that's really interesting. Anyhow, dinner is coming up. Let's get you down the hall for dinner. I'm being a little tongue in cheek here, but I think like they can't ask, they're not asking that question because first of all, because they're obeying in advance. But secondly, there is a sense of like, he's never gonna be able to answer that question. He won't know, but that's gross that they won't ask.
Ask it.
Yeah.
I want to watch him squirm and not answer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
I want to watch him not answer it.
Why are we grading on a curve here? Why are we constantly grading on a curve? All right.
Because those are the only people who still have entrance into the room.
And that's you know what, CBS?
Right.
There you go. For all that I'm looking at my Twitter feed and everybody's like, oh, we have to congratulate her. She hosted like how brave she was on stage with the president, and then she rushed right down to the White House to ask him this question. No. Mr. President, what was going through your head?
It's not a question.
It's not a question. What was going through your head, Mr. President, is going to get you the answer that it got, which is I'm brave and I'm strong and I'm not scared of anything, right?
I'm the most important president, like Lincoln, and they only go after the important ones.
He compared himself to Abraham Lincoln. I want to just emphasize again, this is a man who has been credibly accused of raping children. And I just don't want anyone to ever lose sight of that. And if anything, for all of the shit that we give the White House press pool, they just proved to the rest of us why we give them so much shit and why we do not take them seriously. Because that was an embarrassment. That was an embarrassment. And I want to put this tweet up and the responses. Meghan McCain never misses a beat. I never want to hear one more criticism of Trump's new ballroom at the White House.
Oh, really?
Charlotte Clymer, please put your phone down and get some sleep. Aaron
I love Charlotte Clymer.
It's just the best. Aaron Rupard, this is a real bank shot. John Pavlovitz, shut the hell up. Your father would be ashamed of you. Decoding Fox News. Why? How the hell is this related? We don't even know if he was the target of this shooting. And Jeffrey Evan Gold said this is a White House Correspondents Association event. It's, to your point, Julie, it's not official White House event and wouldn't be in the ballroom even if it was built.
Exactly.
Bravo to all the independent journalists popping off.
Yes. Now, the other thing that I want to say here is that as much as he was saying that they were coming for him because he's Lincoln-esque, for all we know, and we don't know, and your guess is as good as mine, and maybe I'll be proven right, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, and maybe Trump will be proven right, and maybe he'll be proven wrong. But for the President of the United States to stand up and say that he was the target of this event is absolutely absurd, or the shooting was absurd, because it could have easily been somebody who wanted to impress the President of the United States and murder the press corps in front of him. Okay? We don't know. We do not know.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I'm here for them. I want to remind people also of the January 6th committee hearings. What was her name? Cassidy Hutchinson, right? When she was talking about what she saw on January 6th, one of the things was about Donald Trump being held back because he wanted to walk to the Capitol with his people. And he said, let me through the mags. They're not here for me.
Yeah.
They're not here to get me. He knew why they were there.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was fine with it, and those people were there for him to get the people who were out, out to hurt him.
And I think
I just sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think this is really important to note here because, again, the follow-up questions were from the press corps. And again, this is why like tonight should put a final nail in the coffin, no pun intended, because it's a bad choice of words, especially tonight,
Yeah.
of legacy media.
Yes.
But because the question should not have been, Mr. President, why does this keep happening to you? Asked by Peter Ducey of Fox News, of course. Who said it was happening to him? How do we know this was happening to him?
Nobody. He said he didn't even know. And then he went on to say that he knew.
Why don't you think it was happening to you, Peter Ducey, or to you, CBS, or to you, random guy from India who was asking that question at the very end, or whoever? Why do you think it was happening to him? Maybe it was, but maybe it wasn't.
There were two rooms in Washington, D.C. tonight full of journalists. One was telling the story and the other wasn't.
Yeah.
It was the journalist in the White House press briefing room that weren't telling the story.
Yeah.
It was all the
100%.
independents over at Substack.
Yeah.
And the rest of us at home.
Yes.
We're the
No
ones.
one asked the question. No one challenged him when he over and over again said, they're the best. They're the best. We have the best people. They did such a great job. They did such a great job. Dude entered this building that at the start of this live stream, Julie, you gave a really detailed history of the security. And you were, when I first texted you and said this was happening, you were like, how on earth could anyone have gotten in that building? The dude got in with a shotgun. Like,
well, he
they
got
did not do a great job.
my understanding is that, first of all, there are a lot of parties happening outside the ballroom in the hotel.
Sure.
And it's easy to get into the hotel just by waving an invite. My understanding is that he was busted right outside the mag, outside the mag machines. So I don't know whether it was easy to get inside the mag machine inside the ballroom is easily. So I just want to classify there's apparently the man who was taken down. Is he not wearing a shirt?
Well, it says this is Adam Cochran on Twitter. Trump has posted a photo and video of the shooter on social media during an active investigation. Why? Because he cares about the media angle. And this is the photograph that he posted on his Truth Social.
Why is he naked? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I don't know. I do have a video of Erica Kirk being escorted out of the event. Brace yourselves, kids.
Okay.
Oops.
I just want to go flying.
Just gonna play that again. Hold on, please. One more.
I just want to go flying.
Did she say, I just want to go home? You mean where she's supposed to be as a woman with her kids, not leaving the house and not working? That's where she wants to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
He lives in Arizona, friends. That's not near Washington, D.C.
Right. So by home, she means my hotel or
my hotel room in Washington.
JD Vance's guest room or something. Let's make up some rumors.
The pull-out couch. Sorry.
Wait, the sleeper sofa.
Sorry. That was in poor taste. Was it? It wasn't. JD Vance thinks that I should not have rights.
Yes. I would bet a lot of money that those were not real tears because well, who knows? Maybe they were, but I don't care if they were real tears.
I don't care if they're real tears because, to be honest with you, this woman never misses an opportunity to tell the rest of us how to live.
Yeah, she's
this
pretty
is
much the worst.
Michelle's version of Erica Kirk.
I don't have the hair or the makeup, but
yeah, you don't have the
tissues over here.
But like, yeah.
Here's another angle. Trump just put this up.
Okay.
Hold on, please. Hold on. Before presenting, screen remove. Okay, yes. Okay. Here's another angle. Again, this man does not seem to have a top on.
What happened to him?
And I'd also like to point out that Matt Dillon is trending. So.
Yes, he can't believe it. Actually, you know what my favorite Matt Dillon role is?
The best thing that's happened to Matt Dillon since like 2003.
Hold on. The best Matt Dillon role, To Die For. Do you remember that movie with Nicole Kidman, the Gus Van Sant movie?
Yeah,
It's so good. It was one of Joaquin Phoenix's earliest roles. Oh my God.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman is incredible in that movie.
That was what made
My
her
dad
career.
is asleep. My dad's asleep right now, but I know that when he hears this in the morning, he's going to be like, is that the guy from Wild Things?
The Outsiders?
Right.
He's got a deep catalog. Little Darlings. Remember that movie back in the day?
Yeah.
Very controversial.
I still think he's great in Singles. I agree with you. He was great in Singles.
Is he a West Sider? I feel like I've seen him out a couple times.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I bet he still looks good.
Then Donald Trump's jealous of you, Michelle Kinney.
Right,
buddy.
And they looked like Matt Dillon.
They looked like Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon.
Oh my God.
Wait.
That is just.
You look like Jake Ryan.
I know we are Jake Ryan fans.
No, we're not Jake Ryan fans, but the point is, like,
oh my God. Oh my God, I needed this.
For people who have not watched Saturdays for Sanity,
oh God,
understand that we are convinced that Donald Trump may or may not be gay.
You all convinced me. I'm team gay now.
And this is not helping his case for why he may not be.
Why did he immediately think of Matt Dillon? It's
because
just
apparently that's what he thinks about right before he closes his eyes at night, Michelle.
Oh, see, he's so pretty. Look, I mean, young Matt.
He is
Matt
Dillon. He was very pretty when he was young.
I'm assuming he meant Matt Damon and said Matt Dillon.
No, I think he meant Matt Dillon. Michelle, he lives in the 80s. Of course he meant Matt.
That's true. That's true.
But he's never been, Matt Dillon has never been, to my knowledge, like a pull out your gun kind of role.
No, Matt Dillon's a good looking guy. That's what's on Donald Trump's mind.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I remember just a couple days after that Saturdays for Sanity when we went through all the reasons why Donald Trump might be gay. And he was at a UFC fight and he went after that fighter and he was like, "Ooh, your body," and was like commenting on the man's body. And I was like,
he did.
Again, here we are. I mean, here's the thing about Donald Trump. He always tells us what he's going to do, and he always tells us what he's thinking about. Right. And he's thinking about men's bodies and genitals a lot.
All right, you guys. I know that Matt Dillon was a character in Gunsmoke. We all get that. That's what he's talking about. But give us just a few minutes of Schadenfreude about Donald Trump.
I know. Even so, if you're trying to pull an adventure actor or like someone who's quick draw, like you're just not going to go to Matt Dillon.
Why didn't he say Clint Eastwood or like Harrison Ford in Air Force One or like? Do you know what I mean?
He's from the 60s, and he obviously meant Matt Dillon from Gunsmoke. But we are going to make fun of Matt Dillon. Not poor Matt Dillon, the actor, because it's not his fault. But we're going to make fun.
I can't wait to hear from him. Honestly,
we're going to make fun of him crushing on the actor Matt Dillon. This Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Right.
So the day we die because it's fun. Because we are convinced that Donald Trump may or may not be secretly in the closet, which I have thought about for a very long time, which is why he overcompensates so much with all the talk about women. And
Donald J. Liberace Trump.
Yes.
Start the rumors. Let's just continue the rumors.
Yeah. So for everybody who thinks you're a smarty pants because you're talking about Gunsmoke, we get it.
Can I be honest? I've never heard Gunsmoke. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
I don't either. Same.
There was a 60s like cowboy like Western.
60s? Is he not old enough, is he? Guns.
Gunsmoke was like in the 60s. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like a
then Matt Dillon wouldn't have been in that.
Yeah, he's
No,
too
it was a
young. He's Gen
character-
X.
character named Matt Dillon who was like a bang. The bang.
Oh,
That seems a little.
No, not if you're Trump and that's what you were watching when you were like little.
And still watching on the like, what is it, TNT reruns or one of those like
No, it's just
late
that
night
he was a
TV
lot
shows.
around and he was, you know, a kid, which is what I think the whole point is, that he was referring to like that Matt Dillon. But we are gonna
No one's gonna steal this.
I had no
one's
idea.
gonna take.
no,
one's
we're
gonna
gonna make fun of him about our Matt Dillon from the 80s because, you know,
Because why would they?
Matt Dillon's a good looking guy.
A very good looking guy.
Yeah.
What a
Who's this
weird
person?
world.
Who is this person making fun of me in the comments? Ooh, block.
Making fun of you right now?
Yeah.
On Substack or on YouTube?
On YouTube. Block.
Good.
That's what I do. That's what we
Same.
do.
All right,
That's what we
guys.
do.
As much as I want to spend the last moments of my birthday making fun of and Matt Dillon, I gotta go.
Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah.
It's
I
can
gotta
you
be
see
up
how it's now
early.
dark out? Like the light in here, like I'm sitting in the dark.
I gotta be up I gotta be up early in the morning.
I gotta get up early too because you see the situation. I gotta go get my hair colored. I am having to open up their salon for me at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh,
morning.
that's a friend.
That
That's
is-
right. I know.
Oh,
So I-
post pictures when it's all done, Julie. I bet it's gonna be gorgeous.
Well, it'll be covered up. That's for sure. Not about gorgeous, but
You know what I use? I use that spray. It's
I
like
know,
boot
but
spray. But
Who's
then
got-
it's like if you scratch your head or anything after it, you're like, it's like yeah. It's only like event.
all right. For anybody who thinks it's Matt Damon, it is not Matt Damon because Donald Trump does not have any cultural references after circa 1986. Matt Damon was not around back then. So it's either Gunsmoke Matt Dillon or it's hottie 80s Matt Dillon.
I think it's 80s Matt Dillon.
I'm gonna go with 80s Matt Dillon too.
No one's gonna take this away from me.
Same. And this is what we have the internet for, people who are going to mock this tonight
Yep.
and make Matt Dillon trend, and we can all have a good giggle about it. But just how absurd that he walked through that press conference with the most like softball little lobs coming at him. Like, how'd you feel? How did it make you feel?
And
he got to say things like, well, I'm pretty much so important people do this, and I'm just like Lincoln, and we have the best, and also my ballroom will be the best.
Yeah, he
Unchecked.
managed to hit all of the notes. It was the ballroom, it was Iran, it was the nuclear weapon, it was whack jobs, something about Democrats. You know, it's he
Lone Wolf. We got Lone Wolf a lot.
Lone Wolf, whack jobs. These people are crazy. You know,
and
then
Matt
Kash Patel. Okay, and I just need to. I'm sorry. Before you go, Kash Patel, because you know
Wow.
the rumors been in the last couple of days he's getting fired.
Of course, that's what he.
Around and he's like, and thank you, Mr. President. You're the best president. You're my daddy president. I love you.
You were so
Ooh,
handsome.
You're so pretty. I mean, first of all, you were the FBI director. Why weren't you doing your job and
Right.
catching people like this ahead of time?
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, and then there was one more tweet actually
Okay.
that I was going to throw up here. I mean, not throw up. I mean, not in my mouth, but you
Yeah,
know.
throw up was what we were doing while he was speaking.
I'm just going to read this here. Emily on your phone, or Emily in your phone, put this on her Instagram. This is from Sean McCreesh as part of the Washington Press Pool. Said, I'm one of the small number of journalists traveling with the White House Press Pool tonight. We were in a hall just outside the ballroom when the commotion first rang out. Robert Kennedy Jr. and his wife, Cheryl Hines, came out and were ushered into an elevator. Then Janine Pirro emerged. The FBI director, Kash Patel, came tearing across the hallway with two men in tow. His girlfriend was hiding in a room with another man who was holding her hand. Reporters are about to be taken back into the ballroom. The show will go on, apparently.
Wow. That was like soap opera.
Held in another room. His girlfriend was being held in a secure room.
With another man.
Who? TBD. We don't know.
Y'all, I'm exhausted.
It's Matt Dillon. It's Matt Dillon from There's Something About Mary, and that's just how it is. And
Singles.
Yep. They
Thank you.
can't take that away from me. Okay. We're gonna go tonight. We're gonna go tonight. It is 11:25. Everyone, Dana and Julie, thank you both so much
Thank
for being
you.
here tonight.
Julie, happy birthday. We spent
Thank
a lot
you.
of time together on your birthday
I
today.
know. I spent more time with you guys on my birthday than with my family. And by the way, I went out to dinner for my birthday. And when I was asked what I wanted to drink, I ordered a club soda because I knew that I needed to not drink tonight.
Oh no.
And I was right. I was right.
See, I would have been like martinis, and then I would have been real saucy on here.
Oh, I did not. No drinks.
Oh, man, good for you though. That's self-control.
It is. I'm really glad we did this.
I am too. Thank you to everyone on Substack who has joined us. There's quite a few of you, and
many people here.
We're
so many
grateful.
people on Substack, over 2,000 people. You guys, thank you for spending Saturday night with us. So many more here on YouTube.
Yep. And I want to let people know that if you're joining via Dana or Julie Substack, that you are watching the Mayday Network. We are a new independent media network, and we're going to be officially launching here in the next few weeks. It is women owned. It is women founded. And we come on here to talk about the things that are happening and have these discussions that we think are really important without a filter, really, and without any bullshit. So we are very grateful to everyone who has been watching. Please find us on Substack, which we hope to build out, but more importantly, find us on YouTube, where we do lots of live content, including an Americans Rewatch podcast. So everyone, yeah, go ahead.
And as Matt Dillon said to Bridget Fonda at the end of Singles, it's untight.
Yeah.
God bless you. Dana, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Gen X, man, you Gen Xers. All right, guys.
I've got a dyslexic.
I'm gonna start singing Dyslexic Heart right now.
Yeah. Do I teach you? Do I hate you?
Do I got a dyslexic
heart? Na, 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 na. Such a good song.
Great movie. If you have not seen Singles, great Gen X movie.
It holds up so well. My kids really liked it. They were rapt the whole time through. I mean, there's a major plot twist that hinges on an answering machine and the tape in the answering machine. And my kids were like, what is that? I'm like, just go with it.
Yes.
It's a relic.
But if you want to see Matt Dillon at his hottest.
Oh, he's so hot in that. He's so Seattle with the long hair. And yeah, the fact that
you know who knows that? You know who knows that? You know who knows that, Dana? Donald John Trump.
He does. He's like, oh yeah.
And he looked like Matt Dillon.
He looked like Matt Dillon. Donald Trump's going to bed tonight going da 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 da
na na na. Except that's like the 90s, so I don't know if Donald Trump knows
it's like
that.
Matt Dillon. Ooh, Matt Dillon. He came out of that locker, and I was like, ooh, and he's.
I can't wait to see who's the guy that does the YouTube stuff.
Oh, the Branhattan, is that his name?
That is name.
Oh
yes.
my God, Branhattan. Yes. Oh
I
my
can't
God.
wait.
By the way, if you follow him, he just got engaged today. So
well, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Okay, new goal. We need to get Branhattan to come on
is
Saturdays
totally
for Sanity.
This is totally doable. I have friends in common. So
oh my God, can we please
totally
meet him?
doable.
Because if you're not following Branhattan on Instagram and his mockery of Trump, it's just, you have to go watch. It's so funny.
God damn.
God
Okay,
damn.
guys.
All right, guys.
Unfiltered and unafraid. That's right, BJG. Dana DeWatt, Julie Roginski, happy birthday, girl. I am Michelle Kinney. Thank you so much, everyone. Sign up to subscribe also, and you'll be the first to know when we're going to do these things last minute. So everyone else, sleep well. Tomorrow is another day. That's right, everybody.
Bye all.